Hi guys, it's Chris from Blackstone Bricks and Pieces, and I love selling used Lego. It's a fantastic way to earn extra cash in your spare time, or if you prefer, it's a great way to get heaps of free Lego. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to sell minifigures. As always, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to see all my other videos about how to buy, sell, process and clean used Lego. I've been selling used Lego for about a year now, and I find the most challenging and also the most rewarding part of it all is selling minifigures. Now minifigures can be very, very lucrative if you buy the right ones at the right price and you find a good market to sell them. Now there's many ways you can sell them. You can sell them on Facebook, Gumtree, Brickout or Bricklink, or eBay or Amazon. Now I prefer to sell it on either Brickout, Facebook, and sometimes Gumtree. The reason why I prefer these mediums is because I can offer great pictures of what I'm selling to my buyers. I can also ensure that they have a great protection through PayPal, so if there's any issues, they can contact me directly and get a refund. Minifigures can be very, very tricky. They've got to have the exact right heads, the right arms, legs, torsos, the right backpacks, accessories, etc. So it can be very, very challenging to make sure your minifigures are exactly correct. And what I usually do is I construct the minifigures as much as I can, and then I put a note, either I might have the incorrect head or it's just a minifigure only, so at least the buyers know exactly what they're going to get. Now I'm going through a bunch of figures at the moment. I've already dumped a whole lot on my Brickhouse store. Now these are going to take, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. It's a very long, slow process, but there's good money in there if I can get the minifigures complete, and also if the minifigures are in demand. When inspecting minifigures, you've got to be very, very thorough and make sure there's no defects in these pieces at all. People are going to get really upset if they buy a minifig off you and it's rubbish. So make sure your inspections are very, very thorough. I'm going to be walking you through exactly what I do so you can see how thorough and detailed you need to be to make sure there's no defects in your pieces. Whenever I want to sell a minifigure, first of all, I start at the head. I check there's no damage on the top stud and the bottom stud. Now this is a great example because this bottom stud's really badly damaged. It's been scratched, chipped, and it's also been dented too. So this piece is a write-off. I always check the faces too. This face is pretty good, but some faces are severely worn off, which can't be sold if the face is like this. Now the next thing I check for is the neck. This one here, obviously fake. This one here, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's got a Lego logo on the top of the neck. Every minifigure that Lego creates has got a Lego logo on the top of the head. If the Lego logo is not there, it's a very good indication that the piece is fake. Now before I go any further, I check for cracks. Now a lot of minifigures get these on their torsos, the cracks on the side. So if it's got a crack there, the whole torso is a write-off. I don't go any further, I just chuck the torso away. Now the next thing I do is I check for the arms. I check both the outside and the inside of the arms to make sure these aren't damaged. They also check the hands too. The hands can be quite fiddly and delicate, so check to make sure they're not damaged, and also make sure they're real Lego hands. There are some fake Lego hands that look very similar to Lego hands, so just make sure that they sit in there tightly and they're not really loose. Now the next thing I go through is I check the under the torso to make sure it's not damaged as well. Now you might find bits of rubbish in here, bits of Lego, so just make sure it's not damaged. There's no foreign objects in there as well. Now the next thing I check for is the legs. Now the legs, I check these studs here. This one's not too bad. This is what some of them look like. That's terrible, and I think these are actually fake as well, because the legs are really wobbly. It just doesn't look right. So these are going to be a write-off too. When I check legs, I open them up and check the back and the front and inside and outside to make sure there's no damage at all. And I also check the base of the foot too, because sometimes these have been chewed. I don't know what it is with minifigures, but the legs seem to get chewed, scratched and dented quite easily. So really check the minifigure legs to make sure they're free of damage. Now another thing I really check for also is discoloration. Yeah, this guy here, he doesn't look too bad, but he's quite discoloured. So I won't be selling this minifigure at all. There's another one here, really bad discoloured. You get this mostly in the whites, the medium stone greys, and sometimes the blues too. It's mostly due to sunlight damage, so just be wary of the discoloration too. And also, just look out for the fakes. There's a lot of these guys floating around. They look like Lego, but if you have a good closer look, then they're definitely fake. Now, I've noticed some people actually try to sell these as Lego. They just don't know what to look for. But any person who's bought Lego knows that this is definitely fake. The legs are a giveaway. That doesn't look right at all. So just be very careful with checking minifigures to make sure they're free of damage, and make sure they're actually genuine Lego. Because people are going to get really, really annoyed if they spend good money buying your product and then finding it's of really bad quality. Well, there you have it, guys. A quick and simple process on how to check to make sure your minifigures are free of defects. As always, if you found this information useful, give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to see my other videos about how to buy, sell, process and clean used Lego. I'll see you all in my next video.